Hello guys, today is 14th December 2018 and this is Daily Current Affairs brought to you by Ekam IAS. And our topics are Maintenance and Welfare of the Parents and Senior Citizens Act 2007, Water Conservation Fee, Alternative Fuels and ANTIGUA, and our usual sessions Mapped Program as well as PQRS. And our very first news is the Maintenance and Welfare of Senior Citizens Act 2007. This is in news because the court or the Supreme Court said that it is the statutory right of every aged person to get dignity, health and shelter. So the Supreme Court notified that it is a statutory right. It is a statutory right of every aged person to get dignity, health and shelter. Aged person means 60 plus. I already told you it's a statutory right. So, it is a right according to the Maintenance and Welfare of Parents and Senior Citizens Act 2007. Every aged person should get dignity, health and shelter. And we know the three terms, dignity, health and shelter. These three terms comes under the purview of Article 21, right to life and personal liberty. So, it is the statutory right of every aged citizens to get these facilities. And the act is mainly for the providing maintenance and welfare of parents as well as the senior citizens. So, this particular act is for the welfare and maintenance of the senior citizens as well as parents. Not only parents but also other senior citizens, even if they are not our parents. Okay. And the act is initiated by the Ministry of Social Justice and Empowerment in the year 2007. And according to the act, there are some provisions. The act makes it is a legal obligation of children or heirs or relatives to provide maintenance to the senior citizens as well as parents. So, according to the particular act, it is the legal obligation of children or relatives or heirs to provide maintenance to the senior citizens as well as the parents. If a senior citizen is unable to maintain his own life or maintain themselves, they have the right to collect a monthly allowance from the children or heir. So, if I am a senior citizen, I am not able to make two ends meet, or I can't live without money, or I don't have enough money to live, and I am 60 plus, I have a legal right to get a monthly allowance from my family or children or heirs. It is one of the provision, and the monthly allowance should confine to the maximum amount of monthly allowance is about 10,000. So, if I am a senior citizen, I would get a monthly allowance of about 10,000 from my family if I am unable to maintain myself. And the act suggests or permits the government to form old age homes in every district of the country. So, the act also permits the state government to establish old age homes in every district. So, the act is mainly for the geriatric care or the old age person's care. The main provisions regarding it is the obligation of family or relatives or higher or children to maintain their parents as well as the senior citizens. And if a senior citizen is unable to maintain himself, he have the right to collect a monthly allowance from the family or children. And the monthly allowance, the maximum amount for that particular monthly allowance is 10,000. And also it permits the government to create a old age homes in every district. The Maintenance and Welfare of Parents and Senior Citizens Act is very significant because the number of senior citizens in India in the year 2011 is almost about 10 crores. But when it comes to the 2026, it is expected to rise to 17 crore. So, we have that much number of senior citizens or aged persons. So, it is the duty of the government to protect them and get them maintenance. The government introduced a rule in which the legal heirs or the heirs or children are authorized to keep the parents. Or according to the act, the maintenance of the senior citizens is the duty of children as well as their heirs. And our next news is about the water conservation fee. The Central Groundwater Authority, that is CGW, Central Groundwater Authority, has notified a water conservation fee to industries who extract the groundwater. So, Central Groundwater Authority has notified a water conservation fee, a fee for the conservation of water conservation fee to industries who do groundwater extraction. And this fee will be applicable from June 2019 across the country. And the water conservation fee is not a charge for the water they are using, and it is irrespective of the quantity they are using, or if a particular company uses 1000 cubic meters of water, that is immaterial, and it is not like the cost of water being used. It is a conservation fee. It is a conservation fee, and they are not water charges actually. It is a conservation fee, and by using this particular conservation fee from these industries, the government will do groundwater recharge projects. So, it is not a water charge, it is like a conservation fee, and by using this, the government will do the groundwater recharge projects. And the rate for particular conservation fee would be levied based on the location of the groundwater extraction point as well as the amount of water being extracted. So, the rate will be depending upon the point of the extraction of groundwater as well as the amount of water extracted from the particular area. And I already told you, it is not the fee for the use of water, the particular fee is used for the conservation of water. I already told you, these are not water charges but a water conservation fee, and this fee will be used for the groundwater recharge projects. And who all have to pay? Which of the industries would come under the water conservation fee? The industries which extract groundwater will come under the purview of the particular regulation, and including the mining and dewatering units as well as the packaged drinking water units. And such kind of units, if a packaged drinking water unit have to be started, at first the particular unit requires a no objection certificate from the government. So, if you are planning to introduce or establish a packaged drinking water unit, you have to get a no objection certificate from the government. Also, you have to pay a water conservation fee depending on the matters. And not only industries but also households are also under the purview of this particular fee. And not all households are under the purview. If you are using groundwater by a pipe having diameter more than 1 inch. So, if you are using groundwater by a pipe greater than the diameter of 1 inch, then you are also under the purview of this particular act or regulation or the particular fee. So, I told you, industries like mining, dewatering units as well as the packaged drinking water industries are under the purview of this particular act. Any industry who is procuring or extracting the groundwater are under the purview of the particular act, and households who are extracting groundwater using a pipe more than 1 inch diameter is also under the purview of the regulation or the fee. But some sectors have been exempted from the particular fee, that is, main one is the agriculture sector. We know that agriculture sector is the largest consumer of groundwater in the country, but the agricultural sector is exempted from the particular fee. And also defense establishments and agricultural sector are exempted from the particular water conservation fee. Our next news is about the alternative fuels. And alternative fuels are substances that can be used as fuels other than the conventional fuels. So, they are fuel other than the conventional fuels. We know that the conventional fuels are like fossil fuels, nuclear fuels or radioactive fuels. These are the conventional fuels, whereas alternative fuels are fuels that substances that can be used as fuels but other than these particular conventional fuels such as the fossil fuel, etc. And I will introduce to I will tell the name of some of the alternative fuels like biodiesel, bioalcohol, chemically stored electricity, hydrogen, vegetable oil, propane, etc. are the popular alternative fuels. So it is an assignment topic for you. I will introduce you some of the very few alternative fuels. You have to research on the further topics and make short notes on the particular topic. And the first alternative fuel is the compressed natural gas or CNG. And CNG is nothing but it is methane which is stored at a very high pressure. Methane stored at very high pressure. And one of the features of CNG is that it is safer than the other fuels in case of oil spillage. We know that oil spillage is a very big issue. So in the case of oil spillage, the CNG is more safe when compared to the other fuels. And the next fuel is the biodiesel. Biodiesel is either vegetable oil or animal fat based diesel. Vegetable oil or animal fat based diesel. And it reduces the emissions of greenhouse gases when used as a fuel. So when compared to the fossil fuels, this reduces the emissions of greenhouse gases when used as a fuel. Next one is the flux fuel or dual fuel. Flux fuel or dual fuel is nothing but the mix of petrol with ethanol or methanol. So it is a mix of petrol with ethanol or methanol. Petrol plus ethanol or petrol plus methanol. Actually, they have lesser emissions when compared to the petrol. They have lesser emissions when compared with petrol without compromising the efficiency. So it gives the same efficiency of petrol, but it with reduced emissions. So these are the some of the few alternative fuels. You have to do a research on the topic and make short notes of the all alternative fuels, which would be a potential question for UPSC. And our next news is about the ANTIGUA. ANTIGUA, and I hope you heard the term or heard the name Mehul Choksey. Mehul Choksey and Nirav Modi, and both have committed a fraud of almost 10,000 crore with Punjab National Bank, and they escaped from India. Now the Mehul Choksey is a fugitive of India, and recently the Mehul Choksey got citizenship of a particular country called Antigua and Barbuda. So the Mehul Choksey got citizenship of the particular country Antigua and Barbuda. So we have to focus on 2 points. One is the Antigua and Barbuda, other is the how he acquired citizenship of that particular country. So this is the Antigua and Barbuda, and Antigua is an island in the West Indies in the Caribbean region. So it is an island in the West Indies part of the Caribbean region, and it is one of the two major islands make the Caribbean nation of Antigua and Barbuda. So Antigua, we are discussing about Antigua. It is one of the two major islands which make up the Caribbean nation of the Antigua and Barbuda. Mehul Choksey acquired the Antiguan citizenship by the way of investment. So if you invest a particular amount of money above a particular threshold, you will get citizenship in some of the countries like Antigua. So if I have done some fraud and I managed to escape from the India, if I have money to invest in some projects in some particular countries, I would get the citizenship of that country. And one of the example for that kind of citizenship or that kind of country is the Antigua. And it is called the paid citizenship. We know that in India we can acquire citizenship by 5 means: birth, descent, registration, naturalization, and incorporation of territory. And another way of acquiring citizenship in some particular countries is the paid citizenship. Mehul Choksey acquired the paid citizenship in the Antigua. If any person or any citizen makes donations beyond or investment beyond a particular investment in the country, then he would get a citizenship in that particular country. So that's about Antigua. Our next session is the MAPEDUP program. In MAPEDUP program, we have ACCRA, ACCRA. And there was a sad news because the Gandhi statue in the University of Ghana in Accra was removed. The Gandhi statue in the University of Ghana in the particular city of Accra was removed. Because according to them, they consider, or the particular country or the black Africans consider Gandhi as a racist. It is actually against the fact, but some of the intellectuals in the particular country considers Gandhi as a racist. and they argue that Gandhi considers Africans as inferior to Indians. So, Gandhi considered African as inferior people. Because of that racist mentality of Gandhi, it's not my view, it's according to their view, the Gandhi statue in the Accra was removed. So, Accra is this is Accra. Accra is the capital city of the Ghana, and it is also the largest city of Ghana. It is located in the coast of Atlantic Ocean. You can see Atlantic Ocean there, and you can see Ghana, and the Accra is located in the coast of Atlantic Ocean in the Ghana, and Accra is the capital city of Ghana as well as the largest city. It is located in the coast of Atlantic Ocean. And our final session is the PQRS, and in PQRS we have a question from the 2014 prelims in the environment portion. The question is, the most important strategy for the conservation of biodiversity together with traditional human life is the establishment of A. Biosphere Reserve, B. Botanical Gardens, C. National Park, D. and Wildlife Sanctuaries. So, the question is about the conservation of biodiversity with the traditional human life or human settlement. We can go through the options. According to the particular option B, botanical gardens, people don't live in botanical gardens with plants. We know that people don't live in botanical gardens with plants. And in the case of C, national park, in national parks, the human activity is totally prohibited. We know that the human activity is totally prohibited in the national parks. Whereas in the case of option D, in wildlife sanctuaries, the human activity is partially allowed. So, according to the question, both B and C, botanical garden and national park, are false, because in that particular area humans activities are not allowed in the national park, but botanical gardens, no person would live in a botanical garden. But in wildlife sanctuary, the human activity is partially allowed. But the right answer or the correct answer for this particular question is option A, Biosphere Reserve. And Biosphere Reserve synchronizes the biodiversity along with the traditional human life. Because we have, this is the picture of Biosphere Reserve. You can see the zones, various zones. First one is the core zone, buffer zone and transition zone. Inner zone is the core zone, buffer zone and transition zone. In the transition zone, the human activities like settlements, cropping, forestry and recreation are allowed. So, the answer for this question is option A, Biosphere Reserve, in which the conservation of biodiversity along with the traditional human life is allowed. And in the picture you can see settlements, human settlements in the transition zone of the Biosphere Reserve, option A. So, that's all for today. Thank you so much for watching. For detailed news and explanation, you can refer to the PDF which is available in the description section. Thank you so much. Good night.